Hello, it's Uncle Jim. My son bought a few Election Day celebration AKs because he likes AKs. And I didn't know about it until now. He's picking up the other one. So by the time I finish this, the other one will be here and we'll cover that. Different caliber. So this is a Zastava AK in 76239. I used to have a Yugo, I'll show you there in the corner, underfolder, but he wanted an underfolder, so this is one of them that he bought, and they make a really good AK, very nicely made. As a matter of fact, the sight post, the front sight base is straight, no canting, none of that stuff. Everything is really good. And we can start at the tips here. Let me show you it's clear. It's nice and smooth. So starting at the tip, they have a US made brake here, which you can do in two positions. If you're right or left-handed, it'll cant this way or that way. It's got a notch. Best thing about these, cold hammer forged barrels and their chrome line. So they make very nice barrels. We love our 308 Zastava. You got a bulge trunnion, so it's heavy duty. And you have a thicker stamp receiver. So, where do we go from here? I'll fold the stock back in a minute. I got the serial numbers covered. I believe these are coated on the bolt, kind of like my other one. But anyway, trigger's your typical AK, but it's nice. It's not gritty. It's just you got take up and a nice break. So good stock trigger. They call this the battle distressed wood. Even though it's new wood, they dinged it up to look battle distressed. And we like that. As a matter of fact, this one, maybe I can do some close-ups later. This one almost looks like it has initials on it, like the old Yugos used to have when you got them surplus, the furniture and stuff. What's neat about this is he's going to leave it with the iron sights, but it does have a mount here for red dot or scope, and for the underfolder, it's up and out of the way, and it's not snaggy, so it's all really smooth against your chest. I like that a lot, but he's just going to leave it like this. So, a neat thing about these, my Yugo was more of a pain in the butt, but they have a locking pin for your cover here. And on these, you can just press this in, bring this out, and it'll stay there. And you can just lift it off. And then putting it back, let me get away from that rail. You just set it back down there, press the pin. How easy is that? No fidgeting, fumbling. I remember my Yugo was more of a pain in the butt with that button, but this one is really nice. Made in Serbia. They know what they're doing. It came with one Magpul magazine, but we tried all our steel mags and everything, and the mag well is nice and tight. Not too tight, but not rattly. Very nice mag well. When they come into the States, they mill them on a machine, and it's not like how Century did it or anything where they're sloppy. It's very nice. So, you wanted the underfolder. Let me open her up here. You just press the button, pull it back, and it's nice and tight on the buttstock end, and that's really good. Uh-oh, I think they're home now. Now, I was supposed to have this lubed and ready. before they got home. So this is nice and tight, see? And that clears your magazine. You put a little wrap on the driver's side here, just because they're uncomfortable, and that clears and everything. So maybe I try and do a close-up. I'm trying to hold this darn thing. There you go. It's got a cool serial number, by the way. The only thing I don't like is read the owner's manual. The safety is a little bit stiff, but that's good. Better to start off that way, and then you can tweak them. Okay? It's a really nicely built AK. So, the front sight post is straight, no canting. That's awesome. As a matter of fact, the front sight is, as far as I can tell, it's centered. We'll see where it shoots windage-wise. On their rear sights, it's shiny so you can read it. Okay? So, you know, do your thing. Anyway, these are usually very tight at first also. To take your gas tube part off. So, oh, we really like the grips. I know this is cramped quarters here. We really like these grips. They are very comfortable. And I don't know if I covered the trigger, but it's like your typical AK, but no grit. So it's just, I have the safety on. Anyway, wasting time. We'll get into the guts in a minute. I'll take it all apart. But you have your take up right there, and then a nice clean break and a nice reset. So nothing gritty. And can't really pick it apart. Everything looks good. Everything is made really well. I'm going to fold her back down. And so he wanted an underfolder, and that's what he got. So the other AK coming by the time, hopefully by the time I wipe this off and clean it, unless they're home. I thought I heard something. I'll show you the next one. That's going to be a different caliber, this 7.6239. And he's going to leave it this way. He's not going to put a dot on it, even though you have the option. And I believe, you know, I agree with that. It's an underfolder. Just grab it. It's short. Shoot it this way. Pull the stock out. Whatever. Just nothing really to go weird on you. So everything is really nice how they did this. Nice and tight. You got your cleaning rod. What am I missing here? Let's just take her apart and I'll show you the guts. Okay, so everything looks good. Bore looks really nice. Really good rifling there. And yes, it's chrome line. The trigger is a dual hook trigger. Okay, so nice and strong. And again, it doesn't have that creep. I'll just leave it up for now. It looks really good. It wasn't super greasy or anything. It's actually, you could probably shoot it right out of the box, but it's always good to you know, inspect it and lube it. So this looks awesome. These, I believe they put like a nickel coating on there, like a boron or something. That all looks really good. This should hold up really nice. Piston wasn't even dirty, so I don't know if they wipe them or test fire them or not. But we really like our 308 Zastava, and it's probably why I got this one. So here's your bolt. Everything just looks really good. Firing pin is free floating, nothing stuck, no cosmoline or nothing in these, which you should always clean if you get a surplus one soaked in Cosmo. It looks good. Can't say anything until we shoot it. So I'm going to lube this and wait for the son to bring the next one, which we're going to show in this video. All right. Foof. Okay, so everything's wiped down and lubed while I wait. They should be here any minute with the next AK. And the bolt is really smooth, even skipping over the hammer. Very smooth. And it even fits the little MERICA mags, which is awesome. They got less leverage, so even the little guys here, look at that. Super easy. So, and it looks cool. It looks cool with the little mags in there. Anyway, just waiting. I really want to see this next one. Okay, hot off the press. He just picked this up at the FFL. And the FFL said, I have never seen this in this caliber before. Oh, yeah. So anyway, this is from PSA/Soviet Arms. They have different companies. Anyway, in affiliation, whatever. This looks really awesome. I've always wanted a 300 blackout. Well, this is Crink, so it's a crinky. It's a Crink clone, whatever you want to call it. There's so many purists out there that get all fussy about everything. Anyway, this is awesome. So it takes the same mags, 5.56 mags that my son's Zastava 223 pistol takes, which we love. That thing is awesome.
I love that gun.
And so now we can share the same mags again. And these are PSA mags, and they did a super good job. Steel reinforced lips, lugs, and bottom. And they are super smooth. So that's a win-win. And from what I've seen in 300 blackout, you can load them fully. You don't have issues like with old AR mags fully loaded. And we're talking a tight fit. Like these were made to match each other. Really tight fit. Super in and out, easy. And it even fits the old Soviet mags.
East German Bakelite.
Yeah, this is an East German Bakelite, but he put a different follower in it for 5.56.
We'll see if it runs 300 through that too.
Yeah, we tested that in 223 and it worked.
Yeah, it works in Katia just fine.
He printed out a follower for it. Anyway, this is straight out of the box. Got oil on it and everything. This is what you see. This is their plum their plum furniture.
Which is the only color the 300 comes in right now.
Okay. It's got the scope mount, red dot mount. You have your rear flip-up sights like his Zastava does, where you can get two different elevations. He's going to put a dot on this one for sure. The front sight post is straight. It is straighter than snot. That is awesome. I don't know what the finish is, if it's Duracoat or what, but this looks really, really, really
They've definitely
nice.
upped their AK game.
And you got your 3 markings for your safety. Safety's nice. The trigger is nice. The trigger's actually, this one's a single hook. The trigger is actually really nice. Okay, we're clear. You have your take up. And it's sneaky. Oh, is it sneaky. It's very nice. You just plumb it. It is so sweet. You just plumb the trigger. Okay, so you can put a base on it, or a brace on it, pistol brace, or if you're going to SBR it, and we'll show you the gadgets inside to lock all this up. It's really nice. They did a really good job. If you're using the triangular brace, this is what this is for.
If you're using the triangle stock, the metal one in USBR, this is the catch to hold that.
Yeah, that's spring loaded. Not using that. How nice is that? And the beauty is it's in 300 blackout compared to 76239 brass. Piece of cake. Loading for it, piece of cake. And this should shoot anything from a 110 grain to a 245 grain. We shall see. Anyway, he just pulled it out of the box, and I'm still like, oh, what? It's got a 3-digit serial number. That's how new these are. And I have to say, this is so far awesome. Haven't taken it apart yet. We'll do that real quick. We have some oil seeping out of stuff, but everything looks really good. Plum furniture looks good. Really smooth bolt, even riding a hammer. Even riding a hammer, it's really smooth. I'm digging this, and it's small. What's the barrel length on this?
Pretty light little AK.
I'm slamming it on the table here. Where's the threads at? Right about here.
Like the first shoulder of the booster there.
7.5, 8 inch.
I think it's
something like that. Anyway, doesn't matter. In 300 blackout, it's gonna be perfect. Right hand thread, so this can't come loose on you.
8.4 inch barrel on PSA's website.
He's got the JMac mount for my 308 can I can put on here. They don't make one for my pistol cans yet, but an adapter would probably work. I don't know. But that is just going to be fun and quiet. Oh my gosh. Now this is something I'm really, I better check my pants right now. I better check them. And the bummer is the sun is going down right now, so I won't be able to at least do a couple garage door pops. Man, the mags fit in there so good. It's really nice. And the safety doesn't really need tweaking. It's so nice. So you have the option of this. We'll tear it all down and go from there. But what a nice little package this guy is. And, you know, I was looking at when they're doing the full-size AKs and 300 blackout. But to be honest with you, I want the short one is the stuff right here. Because that's what, you know, that's what makes the blackout great. So, all right, we'll tear it down a little bit and talk about the different locking systems you can use on the brace. We'll put the brace on it, and then we'll come back to you. And then I'll just show you what the inside looks like straight from the factory. This is 5 minutes from when it came home. Okay, in a minute here, we're going to put the gear head, tail hook, and JMac strut pistol brace on here. But I wanted to show you this inside real quick. This is for if you have a SBR folder, you got a locking lug. And then on the inside here, you have 2 screws that will tighten this down. This is going to slip right on there, and it has a pin, okay? So super easy, but I got to cover this. This is hilarious, okay? Now anyway, the cover is spring-loaded, and it's sturdy up front, so when you lock her down, it's nice and good. And then, I've got the camera in the way. To get to your piston, make sure this is forward, and it comes right out. Okay, how easy is that? And that's why we like AKs, especially my son. And then this is what they did. Let me focus. That is what they did to make it work in 300 blackout.
Subsonic unsuppressed.
Yeah, so you can shoot high vel or subsonic unsuppressed, and it's like having a pistol tube on your AR, which will shoot both, and we'll definitely be testing all of that. But that's how they figured out a short tubed or handguard AK, and they figured it out. That's why I like PSA. They're always making stuff people want, and I've wanted a 300 blackout AK forever. Some of the purists might say, oh, blah, blah. Well, do you reload? Huh? How do you like your brass getting dinged all the time? Now, my son's Zastava 556 doesn't ding the brass. So I'm hoping, at most loads anyway, this doesn't ding the brass. If it doesn't, That kicks the snot out of 76239 right there. This is just, it's so funny because everything is smaller. So look at that little gas piston. And they did shoot it. They test fired it. This is just hilarious. Everything's smaller scale. It's hilarious. That's why this thing is so light and handy. Here's the bolt. I can see brass on the bolt face, so they did test fire it. Looks good. Everything looks nitrited. The barrel's nitrite. 1 in 7 twist, which is great for heavies. And light. You know, my AR 300 blackouts are 1 in 7. So this is going to be awesome. We'll put her back together and put this on there and show you that. But this is sweet. All right, the brace is on. It would have been real easy, but they have the screw heads on the inside, like set screws in case it's loose. And this didn't need it at all. The latch itself is good enough. It's totally solid. It's rock solid. It doesn't even move at all. And then I thought, well, can't you put the screw heads on this side? Well, no. I know why they're on the inside. In case your brace is too locked up, you got to be able to get to the head. So that's why they have it on the inside. But he had to remove the spring for this plunger.
And the plunger.
And the plunger. And it's a heavy spring. It's a heavy spring, and it's got to be squeezed down. So that was a little pain. All right, we're just telling you what we're finding so far. So the latch itself is good enough, and that thing is solid. It doesn't move at all. So boom. All right. Now, the other issue. Okay. The other issue is with this brace. See where it's hitting the button right here? It's not fully closing. Now,
That's all crank-off stuff.
yeah, so
It all does that.
the good news is this piece from JMac is not the brace. The only part that's the brace is this piece. So what can be done is it's only touching like this much of the button. So you can recess a little bit out there so it doesn't write on that. Now, the other issue we don't know about yet because he doesn't have the mount on here. If he wants to put his red dot, is this going to interfere with the red dot right here, the mount? So the mount can be modified right here, right where it's would be touching there. We don't know. We'll see. So there's going to be some fidgeting. It's not going to lock in because that's where the lock is, and when you use a brace, it's not locking in there.
It's only for when you put it in a bag.
Is it a big deal? Yeah, it's
No,
only when
it's
you
not a
put it
big
in a
deal.
bag. But boom, deployed. So there's the issues. I just thought I'd bring that up for people that try to do the same thing.
And just for size to show, that in the fully open position is the same size as this in the folded position.
Yeah, the AK we showed earlier, the Zastava folded, is the same size as this all the way out. So there you go. You might not be able to tell on camera, but this thing is pretty damn short. I have a different muzzle device on here now, so let's call it 25 inches fully extended. Now, what the hell is this?
What?
Ah, geez. You put a cheese grater on it.
I like the cheese grater.
So now it has a cheese grater. You can look at the pictures before and after and place your votes, but it's his. Anyway, so he took this off, and it's great that it's right-hand thread because this fits my 308 can for a quick attach mount. And this is JMax. They're awesome, and it's also a muzzle brake. So shooting the hot stuff unsuppressed or whatever, I don't know. He might want to use this. Now you'll notice this has a notch in it for the pin. Okay, so on AKs and the JMax, they're concentric off the end of the barrel, okay, because you can't go to the block. And so we will tighten it down, figure out where we want it, and then this pin, put a little recess in it so it can't come off while you're shooting it with a suppressor, and it'll be similar to what they did here. And you just got to do that on the AKs unless you're not going to take this on and off. But we want to take it on and off because you might want to use that. So there's that. Anyway, these JMac brakes are the stuff. We use them in all kinds of stuff. You know, they thread directly on my pistol cans. Unfortunately, they don't make one, so I can't use my 9 or 45 can yet with subsonics. So, the last test. What about the chamber? I had some live rounds and I shot them up in the contender. So, what we're going to do to end this video is I have a beat to snot. I have a beat to snot dummy round here. This is a 240 grain. It's all the way out to 2.120 overall length. All right, and I use this to test ARs and stuff, and 300 blackout, my bolt action, the contender, which likes it a little shorter than that. And now this is a dummy round. There's no primer in there. Let's see how this likes my big Betties, I call them. So 240 grain loaded all the way out to 2.120. Let's see. Feed's beautiful. Pow. It doesn't even stick. To be honest with you, I tried it, and you can see why it's beat up. It hits the cement floor. To be honest with you, I already tried it in here, and I pulled it slow to see if it's grabbing anything now. So we got a forgiving chamber for the big boy 300 blackouts that are quiet and thumpers. And of course, it's going to like the light stuff. And then I have all kinds of different bullets that are slightly lighter than 240 grain. We got 200, 255, all that, 120s, 147. Anyway, I think it's going to be fine, but we're going to have to find out later. And I'll have to be loading tomorrow for this sumbitch. So, that's our findings so far. So far, I'm very happy with the PSA 300 blackout. I wanted one forever, and the son surprised me with it. I only found out about this recently, and then he told me about the folder, but when he told me about this, my knees started knocking. And suppressed, this is going to be so fun and handy. It's a super lightweight pistol, even with everything on it. Until next time, thanks for watching. MERICA.